What's up, YouTube? So 76 days ago, I started a brand new dropshipping business from scratch. As you can see, April 1st, 2025, $0 in sales. And I've been running the store for exactly 76 days now. And I want to show you the results. As you can see here, 76 days, we're sitting at $125,000 in sales. I'm going to refresh that for you so you know it's real. In this video, I'm going to show you as a case study exactly what I did to generate these numbers. And I believe I'm just getting started with this particular brand. As you can see, $0, our highest day so far was $3,900 in sales. And I run the store literally all by myself with under 30 minutes per day. It took me less than an hour to set up, launched ads, and been scaling since. This is by far the most valuable guide you will ever see on YouTube. I broke it down over here on this entire board here, and I want to go through it step by step. We're going to cover product research. We're going to cover store building. We're going to cover everything you need to know to actually get results like this with no fluff at all. Let's get into some value here. Okay, so $0 to $125,000 in sales, 76 days. By the way, my profit is sitting around 25% profit. And again, I'm literally spending less than 30 minutes a day at this point on the store. Literally, my ads are just running. I don't do anything. My private agent is literally doing all the shipping for me. My customer service I have like a VA. I'll get into all this, but my VA answers the emails, and I really don't have anything to manage except launch more ads, okay? And spend more money on ads, right? So first things first, let's talk about the mindset, okay? Mindset is something that nobody wants to hear about. It is the one thing that I focused a lot on in the beginning in my journey to really succeed. If you don't know who I am, you're brand new to the channel. My name is Sam Jacobs. I've been doing e-commerce for over 7 years now. I've created a system that's just replicatable over and over. And most people you'll find that do e-commerce or trying to give value on dropshipping, they may have got lucky with a winner product or two. I've been doing this for a while. I've done $7.5 million in sales online. And this for me, I can just do this over and over because I have a system. My mindset is really, really refined. So what I do when it comes to mindset, I don't do much. I just focus on affirmations. I just literally tell myself that I am successful, I am rich, I am healthy, I am happy. I tell myself all those things and I imagine, the outcome in my head before it happens. I put in the work, right? So let's get into the next stage here, which is product research. So what do I look for when it comes to product research? First, I look for a few characteristics. The first thing that I look for is high profit margins. Any product that I am selling, I aim for 5 to 10x profit margin, okay? Minimum of 3 to 5x, but if it's a product that people will buy multiple of, like the product that I'm selling right now, then I will allow it to be 3 to 5x. The second thing that you want to focus on is broad market appeal. Do not sell a product that's only specifically for a certain type of person, like very, very small type of audience. Sell products that a lot of people can buy. I'm talking about millions of people can buy your product, okay? Because if you sell it to too small of an audience, then it's going to reflect in your sales. It's going to be hard to scale to big numbers. Now, obviously, you need to have a product with a wow factor. If you look at your product and it's some boring 99-cent store product that doesn't have a wow factor attached to it, then it's going to be really hard to scale, because when you're trying to create ads for your product and people are scrolling and they see your ad and it's a boring product, they're not going to want to click on it. They're just going to keep scrolling. Content availability. Another thing I look for is I go to TikTok and I look up that product. And I make sure that there's at least 3 to 5 quality videos of that product. And if there isn't at least 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 quality videos of that product, I will not test it, because then it's just going to be really hard to, send your product to UGC creators and all of that. I'd rather use raw ripped content in the beginning and then later on go to UGC. Then I'll explain how that works. Obviously, you want to make sure that there's a demand for a product as well. So if you're trying to sell a product that looks cool, that has the wow factor, but no one's actually going to pull out their credit card and buy, then you're going to be kind of like all these organic guys that I see. They run up, let's say, 100 million views organically on TikTok, but they have like very little sales because the product is cool, but it's not something people actually want to buy. So make sure that you look up on Google Trends and make sure that the score on Google Trends for that niche is over 60, okay? Or you can see the comments on the TikTok videos or, the Instagram videos. Are people saying for that product, wow, where can I buy it from? High perceived value. is something that I also look for. Is your product something that looks expensive? Okay. I see this all the time where people are trying to sell a product that looks like a 99-cent store product. You're not going to be able to sell those type of products. Those gimmicky fidget spinner products, don't be that person to sell those products. Okay. Now, how do I find these products? How do I find this product? Okay. So let me first go over how I usually find products, and I'll tell you how I found this product. So the first way that I find products is burner method. Okay. You can use your Instagram account, your TikTok account, and basically when you're scrolling and you see a dropshipping product as an ad, just click on it, like the ad, comment on the ad, add the product to your cart, show Facebook that you are a buyer of those type of products. Or if you're doing, product research on TikTok, just like those videos, comment on those videos, kind of like act like a real person. And TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is going to show you more and more dropshipping products. Okay. And if no products are showing up on your feed, look up on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram keywords like knee pain relief or anxiety products to trigger relevant ads. Okay. So this is just an example, but you can look up anything. Spy tools. So I use two tools, particularly. I use Calidata to analyze my competition or really to find winning products. So when it comes to PP ads, I like to find products that did well 2 or 3 years ago, and I like to bring them back because if they did well 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they're probably going to do well again now. And then for Calidata, I like to find up and coming TikTok shop products. So, products that are doing really well, maybe over $100,000 in sales in the last 30 days. But here's my secret sauce. It needs to be a product that was launched in the last 30 days. Because if you try to launch a product that was, launched 3 months ago, 5 months ago, there's already probably 100 dropshippers selling that product. And I like to have a product that's, I wouldn't say unsaturated, but a product that, doesn't have so much competition. Make sure that you identify gaps in their strategy. This is something I do all the time. So this is where skill comes in play. If you go to one of these products on PP ads or Calidata and you see, hey, this did $100,000 in sales, or this did this has 100,000 views on their ads, or they have a lot of ads running. Look at their website, look at their ads. If their ads are terrible or their website's terrible or their offer can be improved on, then I would definitely run a product like that. If everything's perfect, it's going to be hard to compete with them. So look for gaps in their strategy, see where you can improve. So most beginner dropshippers, this is how their first website is going to look. Obviously, really, really ugly. Okay. Now you can make it nicer. You can use, really nice themes and whatnot, but what you really want to do is make it look like a brand. So to prove my point here, I actually built out a store. This is an example store that I built out less than an hour using AI. And as you can see, it looks like a real brand. It's called Belly Buddy. We made a really cool name for the product. This product is a great product because number one, it has big profit margins. We made these images using AI, and overall, this looks like a real brand. So as you can see, there can be two types of people selling a product, like a person selling a product that looks like this, and then the person taking the same product and selling it, it looks like this. Okay. So the better that you create your websites, the better that your offer looks, the better you present your product, the more it will succeed. So yes, product research is very important, but you have to also remember that there are other very important things like setting up your product correctly and running really good creatives. And we'll talk about that in the next pillars here. Okay. So building a high converting store. I like to outsource store building. Okay. I like to hire a developer from Upwork.com to handle the store setup, because what will happen is if you try to hire someone to build you a store and they have no idea what a high converting store looks like or how to create one, they will just create a store that looks good but won't convert well. Okay, so you need to make sure you learn how to do it first. I have tutorials on my YouTube channel. You should learn how to do it because it really will help you make sure that the developer actually gives you a good looking store when you pay them for it. So what I did was to find this developer, I just made a post on Upwork.com. I pay the developer around $5 to $10 an hour, and just make sure that the person that's building your store has done really good branded dropshipping stores in the past. Now, designing your store. It's important that you have high quality images, attention grabbing title. Main images are the most important because everyone sees it, and the JIT. This is obviously your main images. Okay. Okay, this is what people are going to see right away. So make sure that they're fire. All right, ton of social proof. Make sure you have a ton of social proof on your page. And this is the GIF. So GIFs over here that basically, show off the product and explain what it does. I'll give you another example here. So it basically shows the product, before and after. Here's another example of a guy putting it on and how he looks with it. Okay, so GIFs really help you take your product page and bring it to life. Now, I like to use these 3 themes: a theme, sense theme, and impact theme. Those are my 3 go-to themes. You can go to Google and type in the niche of the product you're trying to sell your product in and study top performing stores in your niche. Okay, so let's say you go and type in foot pain products. Okay, you're selling a foot pain product. I would go to these websites over here and then learn from them. Okay, so let's say you go to this website over here and you can see, okay, wow, like the main image is really nice. How does like the store look? What theme are they using, right? You can clearly see that the images aren't like AliExpress looking images. They have, a really nice title, right? They have really good GIFs showing off the product. And overall, the store is just really branded and you can learn from these stores. Now, creating a no-brainer offer, okay? We need to make sure that you are different than everyone else. If you just go ahead and put your product for like 50% off, like it's not good enough, okay? Maybe do bundles, maybe do buy more and save. But as you can see here on this store, I didn't do anything different. I just did $39.99, $69.99, $89.99, $109.99. If they buy more, they save. And obviously this is a product that people buy multiple of, because who just wants to wear one shirt all day long? As you can see, this is a great example of a really, really high converting offer. It says special offer, buy 5, get 5 free. And it actually shows both options here. Pack of 5 for $39.99, pack of 5 plus get 5 for $39.99, which is the exact same price. So when people see this, they're like, is this a mistake or something? And they obviously will go ahead and go and buy the buy 5 plus 5 free, because it's a no-brainer offer. Part of making a really good offer as well is to specify on your main image the offer. As you can see, it says spring sale, buy 5, get 5. And it also looks like a real brand, almost like the brand that created the product. So the better website, the more people are going to look at that price and say, is it worth it? That's the big question. People are going to come to your website and say, okay, the price on the website, is it worth it? You got to make it so good that it almost feels like I'd be stupid to say no to this product. So you can do buy one, get one free. You can add free gifts to the order. You can do a free ebook or ChatGPT type of guide, and ChatGPT actually can create the guides for you. You can do bundle offers and all of that. Just make the offer as irresistible as possible, okay? You can also add limited time offers or urgency text, or, a ton of testimonials and reviews is great to have on your product page to get people to feel trusted on your website, okay? Of course, study other successful stores in your niche to get ideas of what you can offer and how you can separate yourself than every other dropshipper. Now let's talk about creating viral ads, okay? Creating really good ads is the key to your dropshipping success, because the better ads that you have, the more traffic you're going to get to your website, the more sales you're going to get. Now look for comments like, where can I buy this? Or I need this, or questions about the product. Okay. It shows purchase intent for that product. And those are the video ads that we're going to use for our test. Okay. So you can use Snaptic to download these videos and edit them. So I wouldn't say copy exactly like video for video. You can remove any bad parts. You can change it up a little bit, but I really like to follow the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the video you want to leave just as is, and then maybe change 20% of it. Have a unique touch, maybe, a better hook, maybe a different voiceover. Download CapCut to edit these videos. But again, the more videos you have, the better. And I can usually tell by when my students send me their videos, they send it to me and I can tell them right away if it's going to work or not. Just based off previous experience and asking myself, if I watch this video ad, would I say I need this product? Okay, that's the big question you need to ask yourself. Okay, if you're not going crazy over your video ads, whether it's not funny or it's not something you would want to click on, like it's not going to do that for the people watching your video. So the better video ads you have, the more chances that it's actually going to become a winning product. Okay, hooks are crucial. Your first 3 to 5 seconds must grab the attention of your customer. And if you look at the best ads ever, they always have a really good hook. Okay. Now you can use voiceovers like 11 Labs to generate really good voiceovers that you can put on top of these videos to really go ahead and make it interesting and high converting. Okay, now let's talk about how you're going to run your Facebook ads. And I'm giving away everything here, the exact structure on how I scaled the store from $0 to $125,000 in sales in 76 days. So if you're enjoying the value so far, go ahead and hit that like button right now. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about Facebook ads. This is how I set up my Facebook ads. Go ahead and create a Facebook pixel. That's simple. I show you in many of the videos on my channel how to do that. And then go ahead and connect it to the Shopify Facebook ad channel. Okay, that's simple. Then we're gonna go ahead and create a simple CBO structure. Okay, we're gonna put that CBO at $50 to $100 per day. And each creative is gonna have one ad set. Okay, so let's say you have 15 creatives, you're gonna have 15 ad sets. Or you can put all the creatives in one ad set. Now, as you can see here, this is exactly how it looks like. This is the last 30 days. So I just have like one CBO and then I have it at $400 per day. Obviously, you're not going to start it at $400 per day. You're going to start at $50 or $100 per day. And we'll get into scaling, but basically scaling is we're going to want to bump that budget up if it's working. This spent $10,000. It brought me back 172 purchases. Obviously, huge ROI there. And all those people on YouTube that tell you you need a crazy fancy Facebook ad structure, you don't. This is exactly how I set it up for all my stores. Now, if you want, you can also set up an ABO at $20 each with one creative or creative group per ad set. For targeting, we're going to keep it broad. Do not do interest-based targeting. Keep it to one country per CBO and make it male and female unless it's a product that's only specifically for male. And if you want, later on, you can test these countries as well: UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I always usually start with United States. And then if United States works or it's at break even, I can always try these other countries. Now, after you publish your campaign, let it run for 24 to 48 hours. Don't touch anything and see how it performs, okay? If it's getting you sales and you're making a ton of money, okay, if you're literally printing right off the bat, you probably have a winning product. You want to scale that as fast as possible. And if you don't have any sales within 24 to 48 hours, I would just turn off your CBO, turn off your campaign, because you probably did something wrong. So either your creatives are pretty bad or your website is pretty bad or your product. Okay, so let's talk about what should you look for? What are the key metrics to look for? So first things first, CPC. So if your CPC is over $2, your creatives are probably pretty bad, okay? Or the product's not interesting enough. Most of the time, it's the creatives that need improvement. So check which creative performed the best, and that angle is most likely the winner. Look to make more similar ads or to literally just create a bunch more ads, maybe like 10 more creatives, and test those new creatives, okay? You can literally put in the same CBO or you can make a new CBO. It's totally up to you. I usually just put it into the main CBO. If you have over 100 visitors and no sales, okay, then you got something working, but your website and your offer needs to be improved on. So maybe do like buy one, get one free, or do like whatever you're selling the product for, but add free gifts. Make it more irresistible. Improve your website, or even get a website developer to improve your website because you got something working there. You just need to improve on your website because it's getting a lot of traffic, but you're not getting sales. Okay. And actually, I have a full video, traffic but no sales, and I break this down more. If you are having that issue, go to the YouTube video on my channel called Traffic But No Sales and watch it. It's a banger. If you're getting add to carts but no purchases, make sure that your checkout works. Most of the time I see people that, they go to their checkout and their shipping rates isn't set up correctly, or it's way too expensive, or their Shopify payments isn't even connected properly, so people can't even buy the product. So go ahead and make sure that works if you're having that issue, okay? Now, in the case that you spend $100 in ads, you get $200 back, $300 back in sales. It's time to scale, okay? And what I like to do is increase the budget on the CBO 20% per day. The first few days, you could double the budget if it's really good. Let's say, for example, you spend $100 in ads and you get $300, $400, $500 in sales. Like, don't even think twice. Go from $100 in ads to $200 a day, $300 a day, $500 a day. Like, scale quickly. But if it's like, you spend $100 and you get $200 or $250 back, right? You're profitable, but not crazy profitable. Then you want to bump it 20% per day. Okay. Now, if your performance is bad for 3 days in a row, then decrease it 20% lower, okay? And of course, if you're losing money for 2 or 3 days in a row, I would usually kill that product, okay? Now, if you're testing with an ABO, then again, same thing, just double your budget every day and that's it, that's working best. But I would quickly move into a CBO or Advantage Plus campaign, very similar, because that's how you're going to really scale. It's harder to scale with an ABO. That's why I always would take the winning creatives and put it in a CBO as quickly as possible. If you are trying to scale with an ABO, turn off the ad sets that are wasting budget and not getting any sales. If you're using a CBO, then literally just leave the creatives in there. I usually don't turn off any creatives unless it's getting a lot of money in spend and it's just not really getting any sales. In that case, I would turn off the creative in the CBO. But for the most part, really what you're doing is just raising that budget, especially for the first week or two. Now, one thing I do want to add is if you have a winning product or you have a product that's like break even, one thing you can really do is just make more creatives. Okay. So go ahead and make more creatives because that will give you a bigger chance that one of them is going to be really good. Okay. So what I like to do is launch new creatives at least once a week. I would say 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 new creatives per week. And you want to just throw that into the CBO that you have running, and hopefully you find another winning creative, because the better creatives that you have, the more Facebook can actually deliver results for you. Okay, so how do you scale from $1,000 per day to $10,000 per day? Currently, my record is $45,000 in a single day with dropshipping, and that was insane. So I'm gonna show you how to get to $10,000 per day. Here's 3 things. First off, make sure you have a really good private supplier. So say, for example, your product is costing you $10, okay, and you're selling it for, let's say, $50, that's a $40 profit. If you can get this number down to, let's say, $8 or even $9, and you have, let's say, 100 orders per day, right, when you're scaling, you're saving $100 per day just by getting a better private supplier or a cheaper private supplier. Okay, now let's talk about how you can actually hit the big boy numbers, okay? How do you scale from $1,000 per day to $10,000 per day? This is where the fun begins. This is when you can't be scared. It's time to push the pedal to the metal, okay? And this is where you're gonna make the most money you've ever seen in your life, all right? And my record right now is 45K in a single day. I did 35K almost consistently throughout an entire month period. And I've done many stores where I've hit 5 to 10K per day consistently. I think that's the sweet spot where you're going to make the most profit. Now, the first thing I focus on is a supplier connection. Okay. If you are, let's say, getting 100 orders per day, okay, and you don't have a good supplier, first of all, you will get shut down by Shopify. Okay. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to get refund requests. You're going to all that. So you need to have a good supplier. All right. You can't be using AliExpress or Zendrop or AutoDS or all these random companies. Okay. You gotta use a private supplier. You gotta be a part of the big boys. And what we do is we use a private agent. All right. Now, let me tell you why it's very important to use a private agent as well. Most of these companies, let's say you use AliExpress, you'll probably get your product for $15, right? If you get it for $15 and you have 100 orders per day, okay, let's do some quick math. Let's say 100 orders at $15, that's $1,500 in product costs, okay? So $1,500, right? And then let's say you can get this product from a private supplier for, let's say, $12, okay? 12 times 100, that's $1,200. Just by using a private supplier, okay, you're now able to save $300 in pure profit every single day. Now, once you're at over 10 orders per day, I recommend that you use a private supplier like Commercive. And now the private supplier that I use is Commercive. And if you have over 10 orders per day, or once you get there, you can use the form down below, or you just go to their website, commercive.co, and you can go ahead and get a free quote. And they will definitely be able to beat your current rates or whatever you are getting your product for from maybe another supplier. Now, the second thing you want to focus on is improving your branding and your conversion rate, okay? If you can get your conversion rate up just 1%, you're going to make that much more profit, okay? However, you don't want to touch your product page too much because you don't want it to make it worse. Okay. So here's what I actually recommend. I recommend you use like an app like Visually. Again, I'm not getting paid to say this. This is actually a great app that one of my students is using that just did $1 million in sales in the last 6 months. What you can do is you can make 2 different product pages. Okay. It will send traffic to both and it will tell you which product page is better. And then of course, whatever product page is better, you make that as the main product page. And you can split test the price. You can split test, anything you want, the offer, the images, the headline, you name it. Okay. The more you split test, the better, because then you can figure out which one is going to be best to be able to scale. You can also pay a developer on Upwork to make your store much better, or replicate a landing page from a competitor, not a direct competitor, but a competitor in your niche, in your category that has a really nice looking website, and you can replicate that with your product. And this can help you double your conversion rate. I've seen this before and it's actually crazy. Just make sure to continue to scale your main product page and test that on the side. Now, of course, I talked to you about how important it is to create as many great creatives as possible. If you really want to create a lot of creatives, you should hire a video editor to make at least 5 to 10 new creatives per week. You can also use platforms like Twitter and Upwork to find UGC creators. You can go ahead and send them your product, and then they'll make video ads for you, or they can send you the raw content and your video editor can use that inside your video ads. I use Upwork.com to find my video editors. You can also find creators on Upwork. I usually like to use Twitter or some of these video ad companies. Viral Ecom Ads is a good one as well. But really, don't forget, ripped content from TikTok gives you a lot of opportunity to make a lot of different variations. And especially using AI today, you can make a ton of different voiceovers. So there's really a lot of variations that you can go through even before you go and hire UGC creators. Now, keep in mind that if you are going to hire UGC creators, use your supplier connection to get custom packaging for your product, so it looks like a real brand, and that when you send the products to your customers, they are really surprised that it is coming from a real brand. They're going to want to buy maybe again from you, and it has like that premium feel, so that when you're making video ads, custom video ads with your UGC creators can show the packaging, and it just makes you different than all the other dropshippers. Now, the key is to push your budgets as long as it allows you to. Don't get too caught up on making the perfect video or, perfect website. Just push your ad spend if, you're getting a good return. And you can use a profit sheet or a profit app. You can go on Shopify. There's a lot of profit apps, or use ChatGPT. That's the way I'm using right now to track my profit. Just basically go ahead and upload your orders for the day and tell ChatGPT what your cost of goods are from your supplier, and it will tell you your profit. Now, boosting your average order value. Okay. This is some things that you can do. You can hire an email marketer. I don't really do much email marketing on my stores, but if you are trying to build a real brand, you're trying to get some extra revenue, then you can go ahead and get an email marketer. Usually Shopify just sets up automatic emails for you. I just use that and it works just fine. You can add a ton more products on your website. Go ahead and, so let's say you're selling a foot pain product. You can go ahead and add other related pain products or foot pain products to your website. It will get people to buy other products on your website. Just by adding more products to your website in the same category will give you at least a 20% boost in your average order value. So let's say your customers are usually spending $80 on your website. They're now going to probably be spending around $100 on your website, because usually people go to their website, they want to see other products that they may be interested in, especially if they're buying one item from your store already. Okay. Now, one huge app that I use to make literally so much money on my current store is Aftersale. And Aftersale basically is an post-purchase app that once people buy your product, you want to offer the same exact product at a cheaper price after they make the purchase. Okay. You can also do a buy one, get one free of that exact item to make it a no-brainer, or offer them other related items. Okay. Here's some advanced tips for long-term success. So if your product is unique, consider stocking inventory and list your product on TikTok Shop or Amazon for additional sales. I personally don't do this. I don't like to spread my focus too thin. So if you are going to do it, just outsource it, because trust me, if you try to manage a million things at once, it's going to be really hard to just focus and actually scale. Okay. So if you are going to do this, I'd recommend you get someone from Upwork to just handle this for you. Okay. Now hire a team. So this is what my team looks like. I have a VA for $3 to $5 per hour. She answers all my customer service emails, so I don't have to deal with any of that. I have a store developer. Anything I need to add to my store, more products, or even build my initial store, $5 to $20 per hour. And make sure that your store developer is really good. Work with media buyers to test new creatives and scale working campaigns. If you have a media buyer or you want to hire one, go to Upwork.com. They shouldn't charge you more than like $10 or $20 per hour. And usually what you want them to do is if there is a campaign that's really working well, just bump the budget 20% and really just use them to test new creatives. I wouldn't outsource this in the beginning, but later on, if you have a really high paying 9-to-5 job or you just get really busy, like a media buyer is good. But this is one thing I like to do myself because I get to control the ad spend and really scale if I see that it's working. Okay. Continuous testing. Make sure you test 5 to 10 new creatives every single week. Very, very important. Here are some key takeaways. These are like the main things that you should write down. Number one, it's never the product. It's always the way you set it up. Okay. Obviously you have some rare case scenarios that you trying to sell a product that's actually crap. Like if I was trying to sell like a pen, like I wouldn't be successful with drop shipping, right? But if your product has a wow factor and it's a good product, but it's just not working, it's usually the way that you set it up. Number two, focus on the data. Let your metrics make the decisions, not emotions. If you spend $100 on ads or $200 on ads, you get $0 back in sales. Don't spend more money, okay? It's just not gonna work. Now, creatives are king. This is really, really, really important. Invest your time into creating really good video ads. The better video ads you have, just the more money you'll make, okay? Scale fast. The product is working, double down and scale aggressively. Don't scale too hard, but scale day over day, just like I did in my store, and build a brand, okay? Custom packaging, if you can. Not every product needs custom packaging, but overall, make your store look like a real brand so that people feel safe and they buy your product over and over and over. Okay. If you want to go ahead and apply for my one-on-one mentorship to actually implement this, to have me by your side, to help you choose the right product, to build you out a high converting store, to help you run effective ads and to scale to $1,000 per day and beyond, the application link will be the first link in the description. You can book a call or you can just DM me on Instagram at RealSamJacobs. Answer all questions in the comments below or on Instagram as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.